Looks like everything is going all right. Looks like things are going well. Let me just make sure that my connections are going okay. Check out the multi-stream chat, which is going to be different. So tonight I will be streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, you know, doing it both. Oh yeah. That's what I'm all about. Now let me just make sure that it is going through on Twitch. I do think that's going to be important. And yeah, it almost wants to tell me that. Gosh damn it, yeah, Twitch needs to do a little bit better with that. And hi, what's up, Tech? Hello, Blake and Gemwell. Thank you very much for stopping by. How are you guys' nights going so far? Ultra Pranks, hey Tech. Well, thank you very much for that subscription over on YouTube from Abo Isvig. I hope I said that okay. But thank you very much for subscribing, and I do hope that you're enjoying the content on the channel so far. And then Unstoppable Trimax on Twitch says hi, hello. Oh, okay. It looks like you're watching from both platforms. Cool stuff, and thank you. That is always appreciated. I posted a video today about Google Stadia, and it seems like people are responding pretty positively to it, and it warms my heart. It is actually like one of my better performing videos in a while, so I am happy to see that. Foolish Swami says first. Yes, you are first. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Jamwell. Oh, new mic. Yeah, it is a new mic. It's not the mic that I'm going to be sticking to for a while. It's just that I've been testing it out. Though I can't exactly say what it is. Because unfortunately it's not out for sale yet. But whatever this microphone is, this is what it sounds like. Congrats on 15K. Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. It took a while to get there, and I'm glad that I made it before the end of May. Let's see if I can still somehow make it maybe to 25 by the end of the year. 25K. Aiming a little bit high, but let's see. I hear Stadia was the way to play Cyberpunk when it came out, or similar service. No, yeah. Because he had hardware somewhere else entirely doing all of that work for you. It was like, why would you bother paying for the hardware here? If you have a good internet connection, then you're probably going to have a good time playing Cyberpunk with Stadia. And I have to agree with that, especially if you're on a 5G network. Oof, white on white again. Or it's just me because I'm colorblind. Ask the crowd. Notice white on white when it comes to the text. Oh, I should actually move the follower and subscriber goal up a bit because it's kind of blocking the soundtrack there. Or wait, okay, it doesn't seem like anything really goes in this section, so let me just do that. Okay, there you go. Started a new routine this week. Woke up at 5 a.m. and got so much additional stuff done. I know that feeling so much. Like when you wake up earlier, you feel like the day will actually last you. Days will feel longer, and that is usually a pretty good feeling. Like, I don't like a short day. I like a long day. So usually I try my best to wake up earlier, but on Sundays I do end up sleeping in because it is my only day off. But I getcha. 5 a.m. is maybe not something I would do though. How much RAM do you have? On my system right now I have 128 gigs of RAM. I woke up at 5 and went to work. Cries in full time. I appreciate that one. Now, I hope that work went well. And I hope that you don't cry so hard in full time. And hopefully you'll cry in a different language. I don't know. I don't know. Like, what's a better language than full-time in this case? Ultra Pranks. I ordered the Fifine K678. Can't wait for it to arrive. Oh, sweet. There are a couple of my friends that use that microphone. They do like it quite a bit, and I think that you will too. It is a pretty good microphone. Cries in animation. Yeah. I guess that's another language. That would be the move. That would certainly be the best way to go for us. I woke up at 3:45 because my dog woke me up. Jesus Christ. Everyone here has been waking up pretty early. You guys are making me feel like a bum. I mean, obviously, like that 3:45 one was not intentional. But some of you have been waking up at around 5 a.m. And it's like, I wish I had that kind of fortitude. That I could just wake up that early and still feel okay. You know? But it's rare, extremely so, that would happen. Do you know any good websites that choose computer components, like CPU, GPU, etc.? So there's a site called PC Part Picker that is going to be a good place for picking out computer parts. So that probably might be the way to go in that regard. Again, that would be PC Part Picker. Now, as for buying them, I don't know if you can buy them off of PC Part Picker directly. But when it comes to making purchases, I would try to just buy them directly from the manufacturer, especially when it comes to the GPU, that in particular. But everything else, like let's say the RAM, hard drive, SSD case, I would just buy on Amazon. How do sponsorships work on YouTube? Do you approach the companies or do they approach you? It can go either way. So I should actually switch to just chatting so that we can just chat about this. So like essentially, there have been times where I have reached out to companies and been like, hey, like we have worked together in the past, whether it was for like a review or something that we worked on in the past. And I go, well, since we had a good relationship, we wanted to know if you would like to sponsor us. And it worked one time. But that's I think about it. And then sometimes companies will reach out and they might ask for a review of a product, but it might be a review of a product that we don't typically cover on the channels. Like instead, I might offer them the opportunity to sponsor us instead. So that's very few have accepted that offer as well, because it seems like people just don't really like paying upfront like that. Like they'd rather pay you in product than pay you in actual money. So sometimes that will happen. However, if a company does want to sponsor you, they will tell you. And it is usually better to just let the companies come to you. But if you have a relationship with a company, then there's nothing wrong in asking if they would be willing to. Luigi. Are you going to make me do the Luigi for a little bit? Oh no. I'm going to be stuck in the Luigi voice for a little bit. Please forgive me. I have like 20 tabs open while playing Valorant on my 8GB laptop. That is actually quite a lot of tabs, and that is pretty good that 8GB can handle it just fine. Do you know if Fifine will release a new USB microphone? If they do, would you do a review on it? Absolutely, for the second question. Now for the first question, the answer is I do not know if they're thinking of releasing anything anytime soon. They haven't told me anything yet, but if I do see anything new, I will make sure to cover it. I do like the Fifine the product, so I cannot complain. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me laugh out loud every time. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear that somebody is enjoying their time here. I can make it even weird. Even more like Luigi. If I try hard enough. My fan is so loud though. Then get the quieter one. That should fix it. That is the solution. Given the same price points, Ace Predator or MSI? Good question. I would probably go the Ace Predator route because, in my opinion, I just believe that Acer would be easier to reach out to in case anything goes wrong. You know? Heavy breathing to unstoppable Trimax. It is the heavy breath from the computer. From the computer. I tend to lose a little bit of my Luigi when I start to talk for long periods of time. Whoopsie doopsie. Torture says yo to you, my friend. I was paid in points to speak like a Luigi for a little bit, so please forgive the voice for a little bit. I'm going to build my PC, my first PC. Ooh, so what parts are you considering right now? Tell the Luigi. Right now. Don't keep me waiting. I ask a question, I expect the answer. I'm going to embody the Luigi, and nobody can stop me. Can do the stopping. The stopping of the me. Okay. I think that's enough Luigi for now. But I hope you had your fun with that one. I would say that I'm probably getting a little bit better with Luigi. Like, you've been getting me used to it. So, I appreciate that. So soon enough, I'm thinking probably most likely next week, whether it's Friday or Saturday. There's going to be quite a long live stream regarding me pretty much trying to fill up my trade binder. And as a result of doing so, I'm going to be opening a bunch of different like booster sets for Yu-Gi-Oh! So there's like Ghosts from the Past, there's Genesis Impact, there's Phantom Rage, there will be Ancient Guardians, Maximum Gold as well, and there's going to be the new one, Lightning Overdrive, when that comes out on June 4th. So that's most likely when the stream will be taking place. I'm going to build my first PC. I still want to know what parts you have in mind for it. That's your portfolio. Yeah, maybe so. I can do a Luigi sound effect on a butchered Italian accent. Vowork. What? Oh, okay, there we go. That is my answer. But first off, Ultra Pranks asks, what is a stream deck? So a stream deck is... Maybe it'll be easier for me to just show. Or maybe not. But a stream deck is essentially a little device that is basically a macro keyboard. Where you can customize each key to do like different functions and that sort of thing. However, stream decks were made specifically for streamers or with streamers in mind, and that was so that like they could customize the buttons in order to make it so that they transition from one scene to another. Like I'm going to press one button right now to go back to the start. I'm gonna press another one again to go back to the just chatting here, and that sort of thing. So like it helps make those transitions a lot easier. It helps you get the software faster and that kind of thing. Like it's basically just a keyboard that you can customize and that you can add like icons to and stuff. So yeah, that's probably how I would describe a stream deck in the shortest way possible, even though I feel like that still may have been a bit confusing. Okay, so Unstoppable Trimax, and this is important. Okay, Unstoppable Trimax is looking for Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro, 32 gigs, 2 sticks of 16 gigs, Corsair IQ H150i Elite Capelix Liquid CPU Cooler, White Corsair MP400 1TB M.2 NVMe SSD, Corsair RMX White Series from 2018. Then we have RM 850. I'm guessing that's, yeah, like an 850 watt power supply, 80 plus gold certified, fully modular power supply. That's nice. White 80 plus gold. Now here you've got a Ryzen 7 3700X, an 8-core CPU with 16 threads, unlocked desktop processor with Wraith Prism LED cooler. Wait, I thought this build already came with a different cooler. It sounds like you wanted to use a different cooler, but this one still comes with it. Are you buying the parts well, I mean, of course you're buying the parts individually, so my apologies for that dumb question. Cooler Corsair QL Series IQ. So these are just like more fans to put around the case. Seems pretty solid to me. Samsung Evo, 1 terabyte, 2.5 inch SATA. Okay, so that's going to be a SATA drive. You do have an M.2 SSD over there, though. Wow. I mean, this seems like a pretty beefed up Oh, wait, this is a different PC. It seems. Yes. Right? I think. What I'm seeing here. Gaming 2, AM4, Ryzen 5000, 3rd gen Ryzen ATX. No, the same run out of space. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so, wow. I mean, it does seem like a pretty beefed up PC. But there are like a couple of inconsistencies here that I'm noticing. It says Ryzen 5000, a 3rd gen Ryzen. But that's not 3rd gen Ryzen, that's 4th gen Ryzen. But then you have a 3700X as well. So, yeah, like it does look like a strong build. It's just that, like, reading it out like this does seem a little bit confusing. Seems like a couple of things in the description here are a little bit messy. And I think it's because you ended up having to, like, split it into 2 different paragraphs. And a 3060. Okay. I mean, like, just the fact that it comes with a 3000 series GPU is already pretty good. So, with that said then, how much is this PC coming out to be so far? Because this does not sound cheap at all. So I'm definitely wondering. Of course, my microphone is going to do that. Well, my mic arm is going to do that. I've tightened it as much as I possibly can. Like, I either had to stand up straight to make sure that I'm speaking directly into this, or just bring the microphone down. $2,000, I'm buying the GPU used. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Be careful in buying the GPU used, though, because a lot of graphics cards have been used for crypto mining. And if you're buying a used one, just, you know, hope that it wasn't used for cryptocurrency mining, because that could get in the way of things. Like, it could reduce the longevity of your graphics card, especially if it was under a lot of stress for like a long time. So do be careful with that. But so far, I mean, for $2,000, all of this, not bad, not bad. I actually thought that this would end up costing more. I think it's just because of all of the text that I saw that kind of made me think that. But yeah, like, it does seem like a pretty fair price for everything that you're getting. So yeah, can't really complain there. Jamu Firecat just joined in. Fly me to the moon. Let me kick its kiss frickin' ass. Let me show it what learned in my Moon Jidu class. Chamo Fire Cat, you need to clarify where these things are coming from. Like, are these lyrics? Are these lyrics? One day, I'm going to go insane and just being like, what is this? What's going on? I can't decipher any of it. I get out of work at 9 now. So you be streaming by 9:30? Yes. I will still be streaming by 9:30 tonight, at least hopefully. I don't plan on finishing early. Tonight I'm supposed to finish at around 10, but yeah. So I'm pretty much just going to be here, just, chatting, waiting. I'm just joking, but yeah, I will most certainly be around. However, while I have you guys here as well, I wanted to ask if anybody had any more questions for the Q&A that I'm still working towards here. Because I'm still looking for questions before I end up posting it. At the moment, I think I've only got like two solid questions. I'm trying to see if I can get to like 10. So like if anybody has anything that they would like to know, then I would love to be able to answer it in that Q&A video. What is your ancestry? It's funny that you ask, because I think I still have that window pulled up somewhere, but I did do the My Ancestry test, and I can go ahead and sure. Was it My Ancestry or was it My Heritage? It was one of those. Well, let me see. I hope I'm getting this right. So I'm going to log in and tell you exactly what they told me. Hopefully it makes sense. Let's see. Come on, let's look at the DNA chart. Okay, here we go. So according to this, and granted, like this is all an estimate, I am a 49.6% Iberian, which is to say, in Europe, but it also includes Eastern Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico and USA, Hawaii, Texas, and New York, which is kind of odd. I don't quite get it. Then there's Greek and South Italian, which is 4.7%. Then there's Italian, which is 3.4%. There's Finnish, which is 1.5%, and then there's Balkan, which is 1%. Then when it comes to America, I'm 13. Like Mesoamerican and Andean, it says 13.4%. And then when it comes to Africa, I'm 12.3% Nigerian, 5.5% North African, 3% West African, 2.6% from Sierra Leone, 1.8% Central African, and 1.2% Somali. So like in total for Africa, I think that it adds up somewhere around 26%. For America, it's just that 13%. And when it comes to Europe, it's mostly 60%. So there is the nitty gritty of my ancestry. However, if you were to ask me, I would just say I'm Dominican. Because my family has lived there for generations. And I lived there for quite a while as well. Billy, we did it. We time traveled, Tom says. What year is it? Billy says. Let me see. Tom says, what is the newest GTA? GTA 5, Stranger said. Billy, I am not sure. What is this from? I actually thought that was Jamu Firecat. It seemed like something that he would probably type out. Unstoppable Trimax, you surprised me tonight. Ethnic background. Yeah. I mean, I think I had explained it pretty okay. But I think I can simplify everything a lot more. So, I'm Dominican. My name is Portuguese because I do come from a line of Portuguese people in Spanish. And my mother is more mixed. But she's not exactly sure as to what's in there. So, yeah, I would just say that I'm Dominican, if anybody asked. Bloody Fedora. Ah, hello. I didn't receive your notification, but I came to inform you that I won't be able to stay today. Need to sleep early. Have a good stream, Tech. Oh, no worries. I appreciate you stopping by either way, so thank you. And I wish you a wonderful night. Also, we need to get those notifications fixed. I appreciate that Twitch is doing so much in the way, I want to say, of taking care of, you know, the hot tub meta, but we need to do something about these notifications. They're killing me. By the way, I'm going to beef out my Dell Optiplex too. Oh yeah? And what do you have in mind for that? Ultra pranks. Favorite USB microphone? My favorite USB microphone would have to be the Samsung G-Track Pro. Like, if we're talking about USB only, not like hybrids, because I don't think it's fair. It would be the Samsung G-Track Pro. I think it's the best sounding USB microphone. And it's also pretty affordable at around $130, so I celebrate that microphone. And many people have already heard me raving about it as well. I'm certainly not quiet about my appreciation towards that microphone. Now, when it comes to my favorite Xlr microphone, I honestly kind of miss my Audio-Technica BP40 at times. I do really like my RE27ND over here, but I do miss, I guess, like the more condensed sound of my Audio-Technica BP40. I do miss that aspect, and it does do better when it comes to sound rejection, so I also kind of miss that. Does the HyperX Quadcast have better quality or the Samsung G-Track Pro? In my opinion, when it comes to sound quality, build quality, actually a lot of factors, I would say that the Samsung G-Track Pro is certainly superior to the HyperX Quadcast and the Quadcast S. And it's cheaper. Besides like the gamer aesthetic, I don't really think that there's anything about the HyperX Quadcast that would put it above the Samsung G-Track Pro. 16 gigabytes of RAM, switch to SSD, get a Ryzen 5, and a new graphics card. Jesus. Okay, so you're just going to upgrade the RAM a little bit. You're going to get an SSD, clone your drive over there, and upgrade to Ryzen 5. Is it going to be 3000 series or 5000 series? I will use the Dell Optiplex for editing and recording. Okay, well that's cool. That's pretty cool. Though, if you're going to use it for editing, I'm probably going to recommend a little more RAM than 16 if you can. Because editing can really chew through your RAM pretty easily, trust me. Even like if you're just working with like 1080p footage and stuff like that, it'll still try to like chomp through your RAM as much as possible. But it is pretty cool that you're making upgrades to the Optiplex. I dig it. I dig it. A 32 then. Yeah, a 32 when it comes to video editing, I would consider to be a must, especially if it's going to be for like a workstation. So 32 gigs, I think, will do you well for a pretty good while. I was actually on my previous machine. I had 64 gigs of RAM. I was doing just fine editing longer 4K videos. with 64 gigs of RAM just fine. However, when I went into something like After Effects, that's when things, like RAM was just being chewed through. And nothing could be done to save it, pretty much, because After Effects is such a hog when it comes to RAM. I don't exactly know why, but After Effects is just really RAM hungry. Actually, I would even argue that just like a lot of Adobe software is that way. So I wouldn't just blame After Effects for that. But DaVinci Resolve has been pretty good when it comes to RAM management and that kind of thing. Like it hasn't been annoying when it comes to, crashes because, too much RAM is being used up at the moment. I'm using Divi Resolve. Good. I love DaVinci Resolve for editing. To be honest, I think that the Samsung G-Track Pro and the HyperX Quadcast are good sounding USB mics. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I do. It's just that I do have a preference towards the G-Track Pro. I do prefer the G-Track Pro in a lot of ways, but that's not to say that the HyperX Quadcast isn't good by any means, because the HyperX Quadcast by itself, I can easily say, it sounds great. I do think so. It looks fantastic too. It's got a built-in shock mount. It even does fairly decently when it comes to sound rejection for a condenser microphone. So I do like the HyperX a lot. I would just say that you're probably better off getting the HyperX if it's for the looks instead of the G-Track Pro, because the HyperX does cost more. But the G-Track Pro, I would say, just offers more benefit overall. But the HyperX Quadcast, not at all a bad choice if you're looking for a great USB condenser microphone. My Dell Optiplex will be a sleeper piece. 2080 versus 3060. I still think a 2080 is more powerful than a 3060. In fact, I wouldn't really doubt that. The only thing that might be different here is just that a 3060 would be using, I believe, second generation tensor cores or something along the lines. There are some hardware improvements that could make it better in some regards, but then the 2080, yes, exactly there. Stiggy Man just did a pretty good job answering that. In fact, 2080 is a bit faster than 3060 non-TI in raster, so in rasterization, correct? But yeah, the 2080 in terms of raw performance is still more powerful than the 3060, but the 3060 does have other improvements that could make it better for certain workloads. And that's probably my verdict there. So if I were to get either a 2080 or 3060, personally, I would still get a 3060 between those two, because a 3060 is still plenty powerful. It's much cheaper. At least it's supposed to be. And it is much more recent hardware. So the chances of you needing to upgrade would be reduced significantly. It's around 11 to 14% depending on the application, but I mean the 3060 only pulls 170-ish watts, and the 2080 does 260-ish. So the 3060 is definitely going to be more power efficient, taking that into consideration. And Siggy Man, thank you so much for all of that info. You came in clutch there, and I appreciate it. And I'm sure that Unstoppable Trimax appreciates it as well. It is very useful stuff. Much more concise than what I would have been able to come up with. I mean, I'm more concerned about. Oh, wait a second, and okay. Well, Mark, thank you very much for that subscription. I do very much appreciate it. That subscription came from YouTube, so thank you so much for that. Oh, in this, to read your comments, I'm more concerned about the heat. Some cases are just not made for 200 watt GPUs. They choke them. Yeah, a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot of mid towers, but like there are going to be a good chunk of mid towers that you're probably going to end up coming across that just are not fit for handling graphics cards that would end up getting pretty hot. Which is why you should pick those more carefully. Like you should pick one that does have more space inside, and not one that's just like caught up with like a bunch of other accessories inside. It is nice to have fans on there to help with the airflow though. Cough cough. Anything with the solid front panel. Cough cough. yeah, pretty much. Yeah. There was actually one time where the side glass panel for my PC shattered into a bunch of tiny little pieces. It was sad. It was a sad time because I was only holding it and I was going to put it back on the PC case, and it just shattered into a bunch of pieces. And I had to get some help from Amazon for that, because there was nothing that I could do to fix that. Yum, crunchy candy. Oh man, if only I had that sense of humor at the time, rather than being so just like quietly mad at what happened. But hey, I mean, it was back in February. It was already a long while ago. Nothing like that, thank God, has happened to my PC ever since, so I'm very happy about that. And I hope that it never happens again. I learned my lesson: never tried to put on a glass side panel while the computer is turned on, because it's generating heat, and especially in February when it's rather cold in New York, there's going to be a rapid change in temperature that is going to cause that to shatter. It's not going to be able to hold it for very long. Oh no. What's this? It looks like somebody wants to give me a little more work. Oh, I have been thinking about going custom water cooling just because of my CPU. Dang, this thing is a show to cool, dude. Custom water cooling setup is going to require quite a bit of maintenance, and if you think that you can continue to do so, then I mean, all power to you. But I know that with me, I'm going to end up completely forgetting about it. And what CPU are you using, by the way? That requires so much to cool. On top of Trimax, will you get a 40 series GPU? I'm personally not really considering an upgrade at all. 40 series we likely wouldn't be seeing. Like, let's assume that we would go back to like the every 2 years release schedule for new generation of graphics cards. Let's assume that we went back to that by next year, which is when we would normally expect a new graphics card to come out. In that case, it would be the 4000 series. I think that the 3000 series is already such a big jump from the 20 series that I really don't think NVIDIA is going to have a very big jump from the 3000 to the 4000 series. To be completely honest with you, my prediction is that the bump from the 30 series to, well, yeah, like 3000 series to the 4000 series is going to be a lot like the bump from the 1000 series to the 2000 series. So basically from the last of the GTX to the first of RTX. Like it's just going to be minimal, not too much improvement, because like this is already like such a big improvement from the 20 series. So like I can see NVIDIA kind of doing that. going in that direction. 5800X on a giant NHD15, still hitting 84 degrees Celsius after an hour of Cinnamons. Jesus Christ, that is incredible. That's pretty high. I care to disagree. I think that while we might not see a ton more raster performance, jump ray tracing and neural is gonna do another 1.7 times jump, I think. I mean, the possibility is certainly there. I just think that won't necessarily be the case just based off of a previous, I want to say, releases. But you could very well be right, and I do hope that you're right, because if it is going to be a generational leap, then it should definitely show it in some regard. And I think that when it comes to ray tracing technology in particular, that's actually where the jumps should really come from. I was going to get the NZXC streaming PC, but then they changed the price, $1,700 to $3,000, so I'm going to build my own. Damn, at that point, yeah, I would also do the same thing. That does seem pretty insane. They almost doubled the price on you, buddy. That's insane. Buying a PC. I mean, I feel like I said this like 4 years ago, but buying a PC has never been more difficult. But now it is more difficult to do than it was back when the 1000 series graphics cards were being scalped. It's gone a lot worse, like for obvious reasons, semiconductor shortage and things of the like. So until that normalizes, you can expect a lot of these crazy price bumps. Currently, the Tensor and RT cores on the 30 series take up 90 watts of the 350 watts. If let's say the next node, that being 5 nanometer, brings another 50% efficiency, I could see them just do some raster performance, lower TDP of the raster engine, and then use the saved watts to juice up the Tensor and RT cores. That would be a pretty good way of making the graphics card more efficient while still being able to boost its performance in certain aspects, or at the very least, just making it more efficient in certain aspects, like you said, like reducing the die size, I guess in this case to 5 nanometer, if I'm understanding correctly. Like bringing that down could reduce energy consumption overall, at the very least, like at its base, and then it could be boosted or juiced up, as you say, like with the leftover wattage that wasn't used, because they were being more efficient with that newer, smaller hardware. On the AMD side of things, it would not surprise me if they also swap to a separate chipset rather than their current implementation of doing it per CU. It has been a while when it comes to AMD, I would say, because like they have been on the AM4 since the beginning of Ryzen. Like, we're still dealing with AM4. Not that I can think of anything wrong with AM4, of course. I mean, I myself am using a 3950X, which is obviously an AM4 CPU, but AMD has not changed their socket in quite some time. So that's actually one thing that I like about them over Intel, because I feel like with Intel, I'm constantly having to like upgrade my motherboard if I want to upgrade my CPU, which also means that I might have to upgrade another component along the way. That has been pretty much my entire track record with Intel. AM5 launches November for servers. Ooh, okay. It's like, it sounds like that's certainly going to be more niche. So let's see what AM5 brings to the table. Do you think that you're going to review the Predator Thronos Air? Let's see what that is, first of all. Predator Thronos Air. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look now. This is... Wait, is that a chair? Is that a chair? I mean, I don't see it on Amazon, but I'm going to look elsewhere. Hang on. I'm just gonna Google it, period. Yep, that is indeed a chair. I don't see myself reviewing this anytime soon. I've never done a review of a gaming chair whatsoever. Not that I'm opposed to it, but I just haven't really found the need to do so, I guess. So, I mean, if I end up upgrading this for myself, then sure, probably. I'll probably end up making an upgrade like that. Or a review like that, but yeah, I still don't know when I'll end up upgrading my chair. Changed Cub 97 says, "Yo, I like your videos. You help me so much when building PCs." I'm very happy to hear it. And thanks so much for stopping by onto tonight's live stream. Of course, it is always appreciated. Brings with it USB 4.0 native support. Ooh, and DDR5. Predator Thronos Air sounds like they went and just kind of random word generated something that sounded gamer. Yeah, like the naming convention does seem a little bit odd, but I mean, like Thronos maybe has some connotations towards like a throne, so maybe you're supposed to feel like a like a king while you're sitting on it. But just looking at the chair, it does look pretty comfortable though. So hey, there's that. Awar Aziz says, "Hi, which mic do you recommend for streaming? Rode Podcaster or Blue microphone such as the Spark Blackout SL?" Definitely the Rode Podcaster. Because the Rode Podcaster is a dynamic microphone. A dynamic microphone that does have decent plosives protection as well. Good sound rejection too, and it will already give you that podcasty sound. If you're looking for that kind of sound. I found that the Spark Blackout SL was pretty... I want to say it did not have any protection whatsoever on the capsule for plosives or anything like that. And I personally was not really a huge fan of the sound of the Spark Blackout. However, between the two, the microphone that would be easiest to EQ would be the Spark Blackout, because it, the Procaster does not have like a very balanced sound. It is very much catered already for podcasting, when something like the Spark Blackout would give you more options, or like it would just be easier to EQ to make it sound however you would like it to. So that's one advantage of going with the Spark Blackout. However, if it was a choice that I was making myself, I would get the Rode Procaster. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm happy to have you. Most importantly, thank you. For plug and play, however, the Blue microphone would be easy to set up, and that looks like a subscription on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. Changed Cub 97, I do very much appreciate it. Thank you, and I do hope that you continue to enjoy the content and the live streams moving forward. If you like tinkering, the Rode can bring a lot more to the table. I would actually argue, in that sense, that you would still end up doing more tinkering on both ends, and if anything, you might end up having to do more tinkering for the Blue, because the Blue is an XLR microphone as well, which means that that you're still going to have to hook it up to an audio interface the same way as a Rodecaster would. Thanks for your answer. Yes, you're very welcome. it is my pleasure to help out in any way that I can. This right here is a condenser microphone, for instance. I'm just using it tonight, but I am going to be switching back over to my dynamic RE27ND after the fact. I will be streaming again tomorrow night, so yeah, you'll likely see me streaming with my my huge microphone. I kind of want to bring this down somewhere though. Yeah, like it's just going to keep doing that. Jesus Christ. And so like I don't know what's been going on here, but for some reason, like, there's this weather thing on Windows that I most certainly did not download, but like sometimes it just pops up and opens itself up randomly. What do you think about the move towards ARM in mobile computing? I don't really like the idea, mostly because I still feel like ARM does have a long way to go. I've always felt that way about ARM. I just feel like it needs proper support from bigger software that will let you get work done. Like obviously, you can write a Word document just fine when using an ARM CPU. That's definitely not going to be an issue, but you're probably going to run into issues when it comes to creative software. I will. Good. Shut up. Windows will take care of most of those kind of weird applications that just sort of install themselves over and over. You do know Premiere Pro and Photoshop both have ARM beta versions, right? Oh, actually, I did not know that. In fact, I'm very happy to see it. So like, well, to hear it, I should say. So like, it looks like they're going to be getting support, and this is exactly the kind of support that I was talking about, and that's a pretty big deal there. So I'm happy to hear it, and once these are out of beta and can be used fully, then I think people are going to have a pretty good time with more efficient CPUs that aren't going to heat up so much. So maybe ARM has just advanced a lot more than I had imagined. Predator Thronos Air has 3 monitors. I don't think I could do that. That would be a lot to buy. That's for sure. I mean, when Apple does it, you know that stuff starts moving. Ah, I see. I'm guessing that you're referring to the M1 chips and the like. Yeah, usually when Apple does something, industry follows. That is like a trend that has been going for many years. And sometimes they do start good trends, like the one with the M1, for instance. M1 laptops help a lot in terms of, let's say, battery life and still giving you good performance. I love your content, my guy. I have an important question, though. If your PC is going to be a gaming/streaming PC, what components would I need? I have saved up $2,000 just for my new PC, and my case is B-Vogish front and side with tempered glass mid-tower case. Well, fun. Every time I see tempered glass, I do get it. I do get a little bit happy, since I'm like, yes, well, tempered glass just looks so good. So when it comes to streaming, it also does kind of depend on what games you're planning on streaming, what games you're planning on playing, period. So if you could maybe update me on that, then that would be great. Otherwise, I could also just give you like a very general, like a good sense of hardware that would work really well for that, for what you mentioned. The M1 chip from Apple currently performs about on par with an i7 7700K, which is insane to hear. So it's not sloppy for an 18-watt part, yeah. And again, like, a lot of laptops CPUs do have lower wattages on the Intel side, specifically, but obviously on the AMD side too. And the fact that an 18-watt CPU can accomplish performance of a desktop class for i7 7700K is very impressive for sure. Especially since they are keeping the prices of these things down. You know, like these seem to be things that are just easier to build in house. Hey, at Tech Summit says, or Sabari, I hope I said that okay. Can you recommend? Oh, also hey. Can you recommend me a good starting Xlr microphone? Yeah, yes, I can. So usually the one that I always try to recommend is the Samsung QTU. Some people might be a little bit tired of hearing that. But yeah, like the Samsung Q2U is a fantastic microphone that can be used both in XLR and USB mode. But since you want to use it as an XLR microphone, you are going to get the most out of it. It has fantastic sound rejection. It's got a great sound too. It comes with a ton of accessories. It is just a great microphone to start with, no doubt. It can't be shipped to my country. No. That is unfortunate. Okay, plan B. Try, I would say, try the Movo VSM5. Though that one might also have issues shipping, but still, let me know if they allow it. So I'll say it again, Movo VSM5. Me spamming shift sticks keys, hey. that would be fine with me. Okay, sure. Then in that case, oh, it looks like you've already got a pretty good answer here. If you want to stream/record your gameplay, I would suggest that you look at either a 10900K. These are going to be on good sale, or a 5800X with a 5900X if you find one in stock. 16 gigabytes of RAM is minimum, 32 is recommended, and then an NVIDIA 2000 series or higher graphics card, or AMD 6000 series graphics card. The issue with stock in general, there just isn't any. And I have to agree with Sticky Man here as well. I would say that stock is really going to be the biggest issue here, which is why, to a lot of people, for a little while, I've just been recommending that they buy pre-built instead. And if you look for a PC with these specs, I think that you're going to be doing pretty well. When it comes to streaming, though, I would not recommend that you go as low as 16 gigs. I think that you should really try to aim for 32 gigs, because it can certainly be pretty RAM intensive, especially if you're going to be gaming at the same time. Some games take up a ton of RAM, like Shadow of War, for instance. That's one game that takes up a ton of RAM. So, you know, like if you want to make sure that you can stream just about any game just fine, it's better to make sure that RAM isn't a limitation here, that it isn't what's keeping you from being able to do so. What mic are you rocking? Says Toaster Waffles. So this is the most that I can say about it, since this microphone hasn't been released yet, is that this is an XLR condenser microphone, and it is a budget microphone that will be coming out at some point. But I decided to stream with it tonight because I kind of wanted to also see like if anybody noticed any differences, and to see like if anybody could gauge what it sounded like, and like to see if they liked it. So what do you think so far? This microphone is not for sale at the moment anyway. So I hope that me withholding that kind of information isn't a big deal. Sorry. To be honest, I thought about the pod mic or the AT2020. Man. I'm not really a fan personally of the AT2020. But if that's what you can get access to, between the pod mic and the AT2020, I like the pod mic, but it does have a pretty high noise floor. The AT2020 does have a decent noise floor, so like it's not going to get really noisy. But I personally just don't really like that much how the AT2020 sounds. However, a lot of people can vouch for it. So I would say that the safest bet here between the AT2020 and the Rode pod mic would be the AT2020 in this case, and I hope that helps. Either buy a pre-built or get the 10900K and run on the Intel HD graphics for a few months while you wait in line for graphics card at closer to MSRP. If you are going to be doing your encoding, well, like if you're going to be doing CPU based encoding, then like it's probably fine to do so, but then a lot of games probably are not going to run very well, especially if you're going to be running more graphics intensive games. Like a graphics card is going to be virtually a necessity. Toaster Waffles, do you know when that mic is coming out? I like how it looks and sounds. I agree with you. I like that as well. So far, what I've been told is that it is expected to come out in the summer. Not late into the summer at least, but yeah, like that's I think as much as I can probably say. However, you won't have to wait too much longer. This is a pretty great microphone in my opinion, and I think that this company did a great job. Top level Trimax. This is $2,000. CPU is going to be an Intel Core i9-9900K. It's going to be an 8-core CPU. I'm guessing it does have hyper-threading, since this is the 9900K. Yeah. 3.6 gigahertz GPU is going to be a GeForce RTX 3070. That's already pretty sweet. Here you have 32 gigs of RAM. 1 terabyte of storage. This is CK Barracuda. Okay, that sounds like a regular hard drive. This seems like a pretty sick machine, honestly. My only concern here is that it doesn't seem to have an SSD, which is going to be a requirement. Well, not a requirement, but something that will really come in handy. So I would still get a machine like this, like the one that you mentioned here, and just add an SSD, clone the hard drive onto the SSD. That would not be a bad shout, though an extra 2 terabytes hard drive for $55 would be advised. Yeah, I mean that could work out quite well. An extra 2 terabytes could never hurt. It could only do you well. This is $3,000. Okay, this next one. Ryzen 5 5600X. And Goya Guardian, thank you very much for that tier 1 subscription over there. So you've been subscribed for 10 months already. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for that. Open one pack right now. Oh, well, since you're watching, are you talking about these? Or could you maybe be talking about these, perhaps? Nah, no way. You can't be talking about these. There's no way. I think you're talking about these. I can't do that. I'm holding everything back until I have every piece that I want. But no worries, it will be opened, and when it is, you'll love it. I'm an OG. Yes, you are. You've been here since the beginning. I'm just putting all of my cards down. Not even one pack, no. No, not right now. we're going to have to wait until everything is in session here. Okay, so I was reading Unstoppable Trimax's comment, which was, this is $3,000. CPU is going to be Ryzen 5 5600X. The GPU is a 3090. RAM, Team T-Force Vulcan, 16 gigs? No, this PC is not worth it to me whatsoever. The CPU honestly seems like a bit of a bottleneck for the GPU. Like, why have a 5600X paired up with a 3090? Then 16 gigs of RAM on top of that. It's such a weird combination. It just seems so weird to me. That is not worth it. Bad mix and match of components. Yep. Certainly. That's great because I'm getting an interface for my Q2U and I'm looking for a new mic. That's one, might be one that I look into. Okay, well, gotcha. Again, in the summer, hopefully we will be seeing it, and as soon as it does, my review of it will be up when this microphone does release, so you'll be able to hear my thoughts on it as well. Even though I've already said that, I really like it. The Seagate Barracuda 510 is an M.2 SSD. Oh, well, okay. I thought it was just a straight up hard drive. My bad. I apologize for that. How are you doing right now at Tech Summit? I'm doing all right. Well, thank you for asking. A bit tired, but I am doing all right. Oh, hang on. It looks like I have to allow a comment over here. And it is just damn. How are you doing tonight, though, Toaster Waffle? In fact, how's everyone doing tonight, I wonder? Why not go AMD? I would personally go AMD. However, when you're looking for pre-builds during this time, it is, unfortunately a little tough to be picky. These are pre-builds. Got it. That's still definitely, like, that last $3,000 PC, not worth it. Drake says, yo to you, bud. How's it going tonight? Not even one pack, shaking my head. Yes, I did see that. Oh, what is this? Sudden Muff Official. Thank you very much for that subscription over on YouTube. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you. And I hope that you have been enjoying my content so far. 7KN, it's not about going AMD. It's because the second build for 3K is just a bad matchup. You don't spend $1,500 on a GPU only to shoot its kneecap with a $300 USD CPU. Yeah. Like, that was just a very poor matchup. Toaster Waffles, yo. Hello. Jumbo Fire Cat is just saying, okay. I know that is what I'm thinking. Yeah, you got it. And then a bunch of characters there. The $3,000 is the NZXC streaming PC. Yeah, bad idea. Would not do it. My current setup is a 5800X 3090 Strix, 32 gigs of RAM, 3600 megahertz, I presume, and it doesn't bottleneck too much. It does seem like an odd combination, though. If it doesn't bottleneck very much for you, then it likely just has to do with what games you're playing or what tasks you are performing on it. I mean, it's a good thing that it's not bottlenecking on you, first and foremost, of course. Player Guardian. Yes, you're going to have to forgive me for that. But no worries. Next week it will happen. The ultimate unboxing. We're gonna chat and open up cards for a while. The $2,000 one is 10 times better than the streaming PC. I would just say that it makes more sense to go with that one, with the $2,000 one. 7KN Chep 8 Cores is the bare minimum I would mix with a 3090. The 3090 is less of a gaming card and more of a blender render machine. It is more so meant for like workstations, I would say. Yeah, I got myself a 3090 not so much for gaming, but I did get it for video editing and other types of creative work. GPU rendering as well. So hey, good am I. Doing not your is how Tech Summit. Hey, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking, John Mufari Cat10. Thank you. Thank you. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab some water. I mean, hey, I gotta get that 3090 for my 16K Skyrim texture pack. Exactly. You gotta get those mods going too. Some mods can be pretty intensive to run as well. So, you know, a 3090 is just a must for that. It is pretty cool that you got your hands on a 3090, by the way. 7KN. The 3090 is a fantastic graphics card. Have you played PvZ GW2? I don't know what that game is. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm holding on to my 5700 XC with my life. I do not want that thing to clock out now. Yes, especially now. Now would be the worst time for that to happen. There has never been a worse moment for the reckoning to occur. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I've never heard of that game. I'm sorry. So the answer is no. I've never played it, but how was it? How do you feel about it? What is the game about? Tell me more. I have been surprisingly blessed with my 5700 XT. I only had 2 months of driver issues. Oh, only 2 months. Okay. I mean, a 5700 XT is still a pretty good graphics card for sure. So, like, I am glad that it has been this resilient for you. And I hope that it stays that way for sure. Now let me see if these messages actually work. If these like automated chat messages, yeah, they do work. Okay. So like, I can press a button here, and essentially it'll shoot out a message that says enjoying the stream. Don't forget to leave a follow and even subscribe for special emotes. I have one set up for both Twitch and YouTube, so let me actually fire that up on YouTube as well. So people on YouTube should also be seeing it. Yeah, there you go. Enjoying the stream? Why not subscribe for more chill streams? You can also become a member for some perks. Yep, all just with the press of one button. I love it. That's why I love my stream deck. And somehow I got the thing to run, wow, 2015 megahertz game clock. 1830 megahertz is standard by just undervolting it to hell. Jeez, I mean, it's running even faster that as a result, and that's awesome. That's awesome for sure. Keep taking care of your graphics card though, because I mean, as you said earlier, you really don't want that thing to blow out on you anytime soon. Maybe when graphics cards are actually readily available again, it can happen, probably. But even then, I mean, like, it would still suck if anything happened to it. It is basically a story mode plus online multiplayer while unlocking new characters and hats to play with your friends. So what, like, is it like Among Us or something? I know that I might sound a little bit boomerish, but yeah, I mean, like, that's just kind of what it sounds like to me. It sounds like it would be a game rather similar to Among Us, like a party game mostly. I'm glad though. AMD made 12 cores an option for mere mortals. Finally, we can stop doing dual stream PCs for Roblox. That is true. 8 cores, like you said earlier, should be a minimum when it comes to streaming. I used to stream with 6 cores on my PC. Now I have 16 cores instead, but it is nice that they added a 12 core option for people who maybe just can't afford to go all the way to 16 cores. So I get it. And those Roblox streams. I don't think that I would have ever bothered with a 2 PC setup. It just seems like a lot. Because you need 2 good computers in order for that to really be functional. Also, make sure it's 8 true cores, not 8 FX 8350 cores. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. AMD CPUs used to have like a bunch of cores, but you know, like it would perform pretty poorly. I lived on that FX life for 4 years. It was hell on anything single core. It could definitely happen. Now, luckily, I was able to avoid that FX life. And I was able to go straight for Intel. But hey, I mean, like, AMD has been making amazing strides ever since, I want to say 2016 is when Ryzen 1 came out, and that's already like something that everybody was impressed by. Now it lives as my Plex server. You know what? That's totally fair. That's perfectly reasonable. Yeah, and I hope that it is doing just fine as a Plex server as well. Now, something I could personally use as a Plex server is actually my NVIDIA Shield TV. And while I've never actually used it as a Plex server, it is still an option there. So, you know, like at times I do kind of consider, like, should I start to turn that into a Plex server? It isn't actually. Oh, it isn't performing well or serving you well? I might replace it with the Raspberry Pi cluster. Fair enough, yeah. Or maybe an NVIDIA Shield TV. NVIDIA Shield TV has been known for being pretty good for being used as a Plex server. Okay, so John Woo Firecat 10, bear with me, everybody, has a very long and lengthy message to deliver to us. So he says, fly me to the moon and let me kick its... I'm going to start over. Fly me to the moon and let me kick its ass. Let me show it what I learned in my moon jiu-jitsu class. In other words, the moon. In other words, please destroy it. Fill my heart with rage and let my fists say all the words. You're just a wimpy rock. Come fight. Don't be a nerd. In other words, catch these hands. In other words, come throw down. You are, hang on. You're just a fake hologram up in the sky, because if you were real, I'm pretty sure that we'd all die. In other words, I'll you. In other words, in a very heartfelt message from John with Firecat over here. Please, let's go ahead and celebrate that. The other words, the moon. Got it. Oh, hang on a second. We have visitors. Hello. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't rip it. I have to fix it. Stop doing that, Noah. Please. Please. Noah. Please. Leave it. I need you to go upstairs, okay? I'll fix that maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Hey, are you okay? Are you in your apartment? Okay. Bye. Sorry, that was Tech Nanny. So yes, Tech Nanny. There you go. Sorry. My nephew, I've been buying him Pokemon cards so that he can have his fun, because he really does like Pokemon cards. And, unfortunately, he doesn't treat his cards very well, which I understand. I mean, like, he's only 4. But then, you know, he wets them. He wet the cards. I bought him a Pokemon booster pack today, and it's all wet now. So I'm like, oh goodness, I probably should not be investing money in these cards anymore. Maybe I should just buy you regular toys that even if you wet them or throw them or whatever, will still survive. Well, yep, Tech Nanny indeed. Zombies, you also have to speak his lang, even though nobody can understand that for zombies. Okay. So that's how that game goes. And Brown Dude just jumped in. Tech Summit is a weirdo. How can you say that about me and mean it at the same time? And then Brandon is just over here to laugh at my misery. Hello, Brandon Halcyon. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're having a wonderful night so far. Been doing online tech support for a few years. I'm still surprised a lot of people don't get that Windows reads GIB, not GB. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm gonna make bank telling them that later in life once I'm done studying. Yeah, right. Like, the beauty of being tech support is essentially that a lot of people are going to treat you as if you're smarter than them. At least, like, when it comes to this particular topics. So a lot of people would be willing to pay for that information. And sometimes it is like just things that people learn over the course of times, and sometimes it's just stuff that they end up studying for. Oh no, Brandon is either waving hello or waving bye. I can't tell. Lucky that they are not your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro. Dude. That's exactly why my cards stay with me. Because an accident will happen if anybody else has them around. Brandon Halcyon says, hello, lol, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online. Ah, I see. My apologies. Hello to you as well. And how was Elder Scrolls Online lately, actually? I haven't played since there weren't any expansions. So basically since vanilla. So I'm curious, how is it? I know that they've had a couple of expansions, and hey. Did you look into the Bose Quiet headset things? Do you mean the earbuds? I did look into the Bose Quiet earbuds. My priority right now is to try and get my hands first on an AverMedia Nexus for streaming. But I do still have those in my cart. I do still have the Bose Quiet earbuds. So no worries. I am still planning on making a review of those in the future. And not too distant future either. It's good. There's another expansion coming out where you can have a a companion. Oh, really? I mean, I'm assuming that you meant to say companion there. And yes, earbuds. Okay, glad to confirm that. I mean, that sounds awesome. I'm glad that Elder Scrolls Online is receiving so much support. Again, I haven't played it since vanilla. It's crazy. I haven't even played Final Fantasy 14 in months, to be honest, but I'm still paying for my subscription. In case chat wonders, 1 gigabyte is 1000 megabytes, while Windows reports 1 GIB, which is 1024 megabytes. This is why you might notice if you buy a 2 terabyte hard drive, Windows reports it as 1.81 terabytes. It's not fake storage, it's just read in a different way. Interesting. I actually did not know that, and I appreciate knowing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. For that tidbit. Because now I know. I mean, I used to think that the operating system just felt like it needed to take like a chunk of it away. I thought that that's what it was, but now I understand that better, so thank you. Brown Dude says, lol, get some card sleeves for your nephew if that helps in any way. I got him card sleeves. The issue is that sometimes he likes to take the cards out because he doesn't like how they look in the sleeve, so he takes them out. And, you know, sometimes stuff happens. Dude, the Quartet comforters are so good. What are you talking about, my friend? I'm just looking forward to the expansion and the companion because I'm a tank and need a DPS with me. I feel that, yeah. Playing the game on your own, period, like without a team can be quite the challenge, I gotta say. Like you're just constantly running away. I was actually playing as a rogue back when I was into the game, so I had a pretty tough time soloing everything. I managed, but no. Have you seen my channel points? No, I have not seen your channel points. What's up with your channel points? Redeem voice any character and zombies. You also have to speak. Oh, so you redeem that? Oh my goodness. I probably need to add a little bit of regulation there. Because, okay, zombies, you also have to speak his language, even though nobody can understand it. Because I don't quite know what zombies exactly you're referring to. Zombie. Wait. Zombie. Brains. I need brains. I tried the QC35. Sound was nice, but the processing on the headphones were terrible. 427 to 450 millisecond audio delay. Ouch. I went with Sony in the end, as those had less processing, so it had closer to 18 to 22 millisecond latency, which is way better for wireless gaming comfort. That is a massive improvement. I never even realized that there would be that much of a delay. That's extremely noticeable at that point. What's up, says the ultimate. How are you doing? Hello, I am currently a zombie. I'm role-playing as a zombie. I've been paid to be a zombie in points. So, great. I speak the language of the zombies. You sound clinically depressed. You sound clinically depressed. So what if I am?
I'm a necro tank. Ah, cool. You see, that sounds a lot more interesting than just being a rogue. Oops, caps lock. Oh no, I'm pretty sure that was intentional. Do Sasuke Uchiha.
Now let me see what I can try. Naruto. Naruto. You're the only one getting in my way. All I have to do is cut you down, and then I can become the Hokage. I think that's the best I could do for Sasuke. And then for Gaara, it would be more like... Over the past few years, there's been a lot of war and bloodshed, where even I caused a lot of that to happen. I killed many with my sand. I wonder what else you can be paid to do. Smiley face. That is the most ominous message I have seen thus far. That Naruto is okay. And then you say Naruto. Oh, Naruto. 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 Yeah. I just noticed that his English voice actor is one of the few people in the dub that pronounce his name as Naruto. Everyone else is just like Naruto. Like in the Akatsuki, it'll be like, who are you looking for? And then they'll say, Naruto Uzumaki. Well. I like this microphone. Now, perhaps I can go back to sounding clinically depressed. I was trying to sound like a zombie.
I tried my best in that regard, but it doesn't seem like I can adequately do a zombie. So my apologies to you, my friend. Akatsuki is badass, bro. Oh, certainly, they are pretty cool.
Pain. Pain is the only thing we know. Boarding the flight. Oh, the ultimate just paid for it. Okay. Alright, guys, get ready for this. Get ready for this. We're going to be... we're going to be doing this. And alright then, so welcome back to flight 514. So thank you very much for stopping by. And to all of our passengers, please make sure to put on your seatbelt. Please make sure to secure yourselves, and if you have any carry-ons on you, please make sure to put them in between your legs before we start departing. We're going to be departing within the next 30 minutes as we make sure that everything is in place. But once we do, we are going to notify everybody, and please make sure to keep your cell phones off while we're on our way out. Boarding the flight. There it is. I'm going to be keeping this boarding the flight persona up for a bit. Zombies don't talk, so you are a fails. I failed. Well, zombies can talk. Like, have you ever watched iZombie? Oh, jeez. I can't believe I recommended that. My seatbelt's broken. Excuse me. To any flight attendants available at the moment, please make sure to assist the ultimate over here. He's going to be seated on seat A13, so please make sure to stop by and fix that up. He needs a replacement seatbelt. Thank you very much for all of your support, and please have a safe flight. Sticky Man asks, what's the worst tech support you have ever had to do? The worst I've ever had to do? I would say that the worst is usually with my parents, because when something isn't working and I can't figure out right away how to fix it, they get impatient. situation, so it's like, it's extra pressure. But I would say that's probably the worst. Oh, no, actually, there's a worse situation. Back when I worked at Best Buy, there was this one guy. I'm never going to forget him. It took a long time to sell him on the laptop, and when we finally sold him on the laptop, we told him that if he needed help setting up the computer, he needed to go to Geek Squad, but he knew that if he went to Geek Squad, he would have to pay. So like he tried to like keep me, like he for some reason targeted me. That wasn't even the one that sold him the laptop, but I was like one of the few PC workers left there. So like he came up to me and he was like, hey, look, I just need a little bit of help setting up my laptop. And I was like, oh, I can't exactly help you with that. You have to go to Geek Squad. And he's like, it's really quick. I just have a question. And then he started asking a bunch of questions. He just like caught me right then and there. And he got the tech support that he needed for free. So yes, he did finesse his way through. Do I respect the hustle? No, because he wasted my time. I could have left earlier. Have you looked into the Google Chromecast with Google TV? Not so much, actually. I did release... Okay, no more airplane mode for now. But I did release a video on Google Stadia today, and it does seem like people are actually still quite interested in Stadia, and I am happy to hear it. I think that Stadia could use more support for sure. From people in general, as well as Google, of course. Most importantly, Google. But, like, with that aside, no. Besides me knowing that that is something that exists, Chromecast with Google TV on it, I haven't looked much into it, no. But, should I? Perhaps. I might end up taking a look at that at some point. I don't see why not. Sticky Man says that his worst experience was... mine was definitely the one where I had to work with an elder who 100% believed that someone was going to stalk on her. That already sounds like a massive pain in the ass. And then I was going to try to steal all of her banking info. It took me a solid 3 hours just to convince her that yes, you had to accept the terms of service for Windows to be installed. It is a pretty simple concept for us to understand, you know, but like we are part of a different generation. So like I do tend to sympathize a bit more. Oh yeah, rated second is 100% when people think tech support can help you with printers. I usually just tell them, hey, printers are processed by Satan. Don't even try to fix them. I would argue that Beelzebub actually has more of a hand on that than Satan. But that's just me. How does Kakuzu kill so many people and steal their hearts, clashes with the first Hokage, and gets rocked by a 17-year-old blonde boy? Actually, he was 15 at the time. I'll have you know. And secondly, yeah, like it is pretty absurd, how he can even do that, how his body could even support multiple hearts. I mean, I would venture to think that there would probably be issues, like matching out the blood types and things like that. I feel like there would just be like a lot going on in there. But you know, like it's also just like a parafantasy, you know, like you just want to indulge yourself in there and not even like think about it too much, even though I do find myself questioning a lot of those things. And rumor actually has it that while yes, he survived a fight against the first Hokage, it does seem like it is just very likely that, you know, he just barely managed to run away or something. Maybe he just clashed with him very, very briefly. Like so much so that the first Hokage probably just let him go or something. But yeah, like if the first Hokage wanted to kill Kakuzu, he totally could have. The Ultimate says, well, at least they weren't gullible and believed that the Nigerian prince would give them a free flight to Hawaii. I don't know. I've fallen for that trick a couple of times. I've never been to Hawaii though. I never end up in Hawaii. What is this flight attendant talking about? I'm no longer a flight attendant actually. I'm just Francisco. I'm Tech Summit now. I'm different now. But either extreme sucks to deal with. Yes, I would say so for sure. For sure, both are definitely not very fun situations to have to deal with when it comes to tech support. Well, it's almost 4 in the morning. Oh my goodness, is it now? I'm going to go take a nap. Stiggy Man, thank you very much for that follow on Twitch. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you. And this is going to help us meet the goal of 500 followers by somewhere around mid July. I'm hoping that I can get 104 more followers. So thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. And I wish you a wonderful nap. Thanks so much for stopping by. It's only 9:52 over here where I live, so it looks like we are on very, very different time zones. I guess his age, lol. Well, I know his age. Okay. No, I don't want to be I do not want to be a snob about it. I realize that Kakashi is the Sasuke who never sought revenge. Obito is the Naruto who lost hope, and Rin is the Sakura who is actually useful. Don't you dare say anything bad about Sakura. Do you understand? I'm one of those rare Sakura defenders. I'm one of those rare people that shows up every 1,000 years just to defend Sakura. No, but yeah, I mean, like, they did draw a lot of parallels between the different teams. I mean, like, the team of Sannin too. Like, they're all like, you could say Sasuke could have turned out like Orochimaru, Naruto could have turned out like Jiraiya, and Sakura could have turned out like Tsunade. And it looks like the Bell test was a very popular test as well, since it was just done so often. Stigman is in Denmark. Ah, nice. I would love to visit Denmark someday. That would be incredible. Captain Francisco? Yes, I'm boarding the ship. Nah, bro, I'm leaving. What? You do not stand for this? You want to join the Discord? Or you hear that, guys? There's still the Discord open, as per usual. So if anybody would like to join the Tech Summit Discord, then by all means, that would be greatly appreciated. Link is going to be right there. Thank you, John Moo Firecat 10, very much for dropping that link over there. If anybody would like to be part of the Discord, then please make sure to join in. We'd be more than happy to have you. Wrong link. Oh, oh man, well, this is awkward. I said all of that just for the wrong link. Okay, you don't have to spam wrong link. We get it. You're fine. You're fine. We get it. I'm Sakura-phobic. Yeah, a lot of people are. And that's understandable. I understand why a lot of people don't. Hang on. I have to respond to this. I need to answer this with a little bit of wit. However, there is the link to the Discord. I didn't even click the Discord link, and it still redirected me to the Discord. Oh, really? That's a little odd. But welcome to the Discord either way. Could you ever look up a TV and tell me what you think? Sure. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. What do you have in mind? I'll still be here for a little bit longer, so... Tell me, what TV do you want to know more about, or my opinion on? I should probably have Best Buy open for this, though, since Best Buy is quite good when it comes to keeping up with the TVs. So let's go ahead. All right, I'm ready. My body is ready for this. So let's see. I don't even know if it was the right link. Just closed it. Fair enough. I do think that John Mubarak had dropped the correct link this time around. So thank you for that, John Mu. So hopefully if anybody can see the link, they can just go ahead and click on it. Samsung TU8300. It's a curved TV, but I'm hearing that you have to sit in front of it and can't sit to the side. 65 inches. It is a curved TV, so I'm assuming that that's why. But let me go ahead and take a look at this. I doubt, obviously, that it would be too curved. From Samsung. Okay, TU8300 from Samsung. Oh wow. I was not expecting it to be this affordable at all. It's currently $650 on Best Buy. That's awesome. It's curved, eh? I almost can't tell. I almost can't tell that it's curved, to be honest, from here. Oh, I see. From the top, like you can kind of tell. Never knew that curved TVs were a thing until now. I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all. But yeah, like curved monitors have been a thing for a while. I would argue that curved TVs have probably been a thing for even longer than that. Yeah, it looks great. I was watching it on Walmart. Yeah, I mean, I can't base the image off of from like just the pictures that I'm seeing here in terms of like the image quality and stuff. The curved aspect is obviously kind of, nice quality of life thing. However, I think that the issue that people are referring to probably has to do with viewing angles, because it is a curved screen. Not to mention, it is an affordable TV for what it is. So it is very, very, very likely that it is using one of those cheaper panels. That means that it doesn't have very good viewing angles. So like, for instance, you would have to look at it like directly from the front for you to be able to see everything in the right colors and things like that. And I think that curved perspective only messes with that, if anything. But honestly, if I was the one shopping around for this TV, I probably would not care about it, especially if I'm the only person expecting to use that TV. Personally, looking at this, I'm a fan of the price, like big time. I'm a fan of the size. I like that it is 4K, it's a smart TV, it is by Samsung, a reputable brand, like all of those great things. So make sure to cuddle on the main couch in the middle. Yes, exactly. Don't depend on it being too good from like different viewing angles. Like this one seems to be clearly made for you to just watch from the front, or at least like directly in front of it. And I think that's what they were referring to. Let's see, Francisco, you were probably that one kid in class that asked the teacher if there was homework when the teacher completely forgets about it. No, actually, not at all. Do you think I was a good student in high school? I was a student. I mean, I tried to be a good student in high school, but unfortunately, 2 missing homeworks already. Oh, you're at risk of failing. It's like, but I've handed in every other homework assignment, and I've been doing okay in the quizzes and the exams. How am I failing over 2 homework assignments? The math just doesn't add up, especially when homework is supposedly about 10% of your grade, and they give you so much of it. So how can that possibly add up? So yeah, I mean, I almost never got good grades in high school. In college, totally different though. I did very well in terms of my grades, and I think that the lowest grade I ever got in college was probably a B minus. And all of my 4 years. But yeah, dude, like high school really sucks. What would be a good CPU to pair with a 3080? I think my CPU wouldn't bottleneck, but I won't get the full potential of it. A good CPU to pair with a graphics card like that would have to be at least an 8-core CPU, in my opinion. So I would probably aim for something along the lines of, let's say, if you want to go the AMD route, then a Ryzen 7 3700X could be pretty good. A pretty good pairing there. That is relatively affordable, but still quite powerful. So yeah, like I would go for something like that. But if you want to go the Intel route, then a 10700K would be the best way to go, I would say. When it actually restocks, right? I mean, in that case, like when it comes to restocks, and it sounds like we're talking about like the 5000 series Ryzen CPUs. In that case, a 5700X is what you would be looking for. Brandon says, oh, okay, well, thank you very much. You're very welcome. I hope that was helpful. Fatty MMA says, are you small, or is that just a big chair? I'm small. I would say that I'm small. I'm a pretty short guy. Though, like, I never really even realized that the chair could look pretty, like, big in contrast to me. That is me. You were a beep student? Yes, that is exactly me. I was a beep student. I was the worst beep student around. I was the baddest too. Tech, do you have a side job? I edit videos for another company. So I guess that would be the side job, but it is still YouTube related because they post those videos to their YouTube channel. So yeah, I would still count that as a side job. That's so true. Not bad. What advice would you have for college? For college, just don't piss off your professor. Also, very important, and I'm going to speak from experience here. When your professor starts to get political, which will happen, just let them say whatever they want. Just let it go, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. A lot of professors think, oh, you know, like this is a space for adults, so let me just kind of tell everybody what I think politically, and because I'm in control of the classroom, they can't particularly disagree with me so much, and it's not worth being the brave one that stands up and says, but professor, like, don't you think that things should be this way or that way? Just let it go. It's really not worth it. And then do your assignments and you should be fine. That's really everything. I would just say that when it comes to very opinionated professors, you know, like, just let them be. Don't even bother challenging them on what they think. It's not worth it. Middle school was the worst. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but I would say that I probably lived the best years of my life when I was in middle school. Today was my last day, and I miss it. But there were too many kids with at least 100 missing assignments. Jesus Christ. How were they even given 100 assignments to begin with? That's a lot. In college, you're probably not going to be getting nearly as many assignments either, by the way. Everybody knows you don't piss off your teacher or professor. Not everybody knows it, because it still happens in some places. And it just gets so awkward when that happens. Yeah, that's the last thing I would want to do. Yeah. Do not don't try to challenge your professor on their beliefs. I never tried to. However, what I can say is that once upon a time, so like there are two classes that I always hated having to take in college. Those were art history, absolutely hate art history, and English courses. While I was actually, and I still am, very good at writing, the books that we were usually assigned were very much, I want to say, pandering. And it's meant to make certain people feel bad. And then they kind of want you to write about exactly that. And you could have like other interpretations of the book, but like to them, it's like, no, this is it. So one time I wrote like my own interpretation of the book, because like the questions that were assigned to us seemed like they were opening the ground up for conversation about the story. But it was really just more so about the overall motif of said book, which meant that, you know, you could only discuss one topic and there's only one good answer to said topic to them. I know that I'm being incredibly vague. By the way. I mean, everyone has different experiences, yeah. Bro, it's mainly for math. Math gives a lot of assignments, I guess. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, when I was in high school, it was homework almost every day, I think. Most other of my teachers give work for the week. My teacher gives work for the day. Some will be like that, and that is unfortunate for sure. It sucks having like a homework assignment to do every single day. I remember that. I like art, but art history is very boring in my opinion. Yes. I feel that way too. Art history is so boring. Okay. To me, to someone like me, I find no interest, zero interest in the very revolutionary paintings of the 1800s, the 1700s. I actually find a lot more interest in the eras before that, but like a lot of art history teachers don't really like to give too much credit to those, and they're kind of like, no, you know, geez, I can't even think of like a movement, like Dada, for instance. No, Dada is just great, okay? Dada is way better than any of the academic paintings that came before it, way before Dada was a thing, because Dada is actually relatively recent. And I hate that I know that. No one has joined me in Discord. Oh, it's okay, John Mufara Cat. Don't worry too much about that. They will in due time. Brown Dude says in a call. OMG, I hate when they do that. They make like open-ended questions, but there's only one answer. Yes. Yeah, like they're very much just like they ask that to make it seem like there is actually room for interpretation, for personalization, but no, there is only one right answer, and you better get that right. So with that said, I think that we have actually made it to the very end successfully. So thanks to, oh man, I'm gonna move these. Hang on, I can't give any thanks until I have moved these to a proper spot, like down here. That's better. Okay. So with that said, thank you very much to all of you for jumping in tonight. Tonight's live stream was actually a lot of fun, so thank you so much. Don't end, but I must join the call, Mr. Summit. I might jump in for like a few minutes if that makes you happy. Advice on procrastination. I would say that you just have to set your mind on the goal and simply look at what you will reach from it. For instance, one goal of mine is just to have more free time. So I take care of my assignments early so that I have more free time later. So that's my motivation. You need to be motivated in order to not procrastinate. I don't think that you can possibly have both at the same time. All right, Tech, awesome stream as well. Have a great night. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, I do wish you all a wonderful night. And yeah, I do hope that you guys stop by again tomorrow, since we'll be streaming again tomorrow night. Thank you so much for everything. And yeah, until next time, enjoy.